Oh my God. Have I been muted this whole time? I blame my kids. I blame my kids. And I blame Emmet. I blame Emmet because he's late as usual. It's what he does. But welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Dani Sponsorship Licensed Cosmetologist Super Nerd, and this is Comics and Cosmetics. Specifically, this is Nerdy News Live, where I have gone and done all the research. I've pulled all the Reddit forums. I've scanned all the sources, and I've got all the juicy deets and hot goss in the fabulous world of nerdy news just for you, babies, because I love you. Yes, I do. And I'm back. It's Tuesday. It's Tiny Tuesday, to be specific. If you don't know, Tuesdays at Comics and Cosmetics are Tiny Tuesday, and we spooners with my dog and co-host Titus Livingston DePriest, who's decided to continue to bark for the first time in his life. I made one comment today to Ro about how he never barks, and now he barks whenever I'm on camera live, so that's nice. I do not know where my guest is yet. He's usually late. That's his fault. He's on Irish time. It's a thing. But we'll hang out for a few minutes, go over some stuff. And first, let's say hi to the chat. Thank you, Miss Sassy Sasquatch, for letting me know that my mic was muted, which is so weird because it's never muted. I haven't done live streams in like 6 months, so at least not on my own channel. Spencer, hello. Thank you for joining us. The Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast, Rosif himself. He was first. He gets the door prize. I don't know what that door prize is, but he gets it. And DJ wants his prize pants, so I will have to get some prize pants for DJ. This is actually the first time that we are broadcasting live. Is it called broadcasting if it's on the internet? I don't know words are hard. It's the first time we're going live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twix at the same time. So if you're on Twitter, hello, YouTube, Twix, all of it, Twitch. There's too many platforms for me to keep up with. I'm too old. I'm just way too old. And yes, Spencer, it is Tiny Tuesday, and I will show you some examples of what I mean with Tiny Tuesday. Okay, so last week was the first week we did it, and we introduced such amazing films as Totzilla. He heard you open that cheese bag. He did. And hot in No Time to Nap. That's right, No Time to Nap. He naps a lot, so this is a very scary film for him. It was really difficult for him to get into this character. This week we have greats like the Petinator. Titus Dupree stars in the new film where a cyborg pup returns to our time from the future to steal all the pets. All of them? All of them. And then we had The Never-Ending Pets. That's right. It's a magical, I stand by it, magical place where he gets all the pets all the time and they never end. And finally, No Cheese for Old Pups. Another very difficult film for Titus to get into character for, but we're very proud of him and his new budding career as a leading pup. He's great. Yes, you're absolutely right, Spencer. Godzilla has nothing on Totzilla. We're extremely proud of our cheese nap loving pups. He's the best. Okay, guys. So let's get into this. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Emmett's just going to have to jump in when he can, wherever him may be. Okay, so first up, guys. Oh, real quick. I want to give a big shout out to the Red 5 Network. We have so many podcasts and shows and awesome content creators in this network that literally, if you can't find something that entertains you, then nothing will. You are the world's most boring person. If you like Star Wars to Star Trek, DC to Marvel, Doctor Who to Stargate, SG-1, we love everything nerdy. We love pop culture and we love sci-fi and fantasy and action. And I'm telling you, there's an expert in virtually every single genre in this network. All you have to do is check out red5.bio.link, start perusing and find the perfect Red 5 show for you, or listen to them all because we're all pretty great. We're all non-denominational nerds. We love it all, especially me. I really do truly love it all equally. It's really hard for me to pick a favorite. But sometimes I really do try. I do. But it just, I love it all. So there you go. If you would like to follow us on all the socials, I highly recommend it, especially Twix, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. But just type in comics and cosmetics. You will find me. I'm on every single platform, including TikTok and Blue Sky. And if you would like to be up to date on all the information, all my movie reviews, we do have a website. You can check out the probably dying Belgium project, but still, I'm going to give one last push. But check out the website there. And if you would like to support the channel, we have several things like merch, and my Patreon, and this little QR code right down there. You can scan, and you can tip us as little or as much as you like because you think I'm fun and stuff. My eyebrow itches, but I'm actually genuinely afraid I'm going to scratch it off because, fun fact, I don't have eyebrows. I draw them on. There you go. That's something you know about me now. Okay. So, first of all, the Acolyte trailer dropped today. I was really hoping that we would get the Beetlejuice 2 trailer as well. I've refreshed my press kit account all day long. It still hasn't dropped. Sorry. I really thought it was coming today. But the Acolyte trailer did drop. And I'm not going to lie, guys. It looks pretty dope. I did post a reaction to that, which does have the entire trailer. You can check that out. Just go to my videos. It's the most recent one, other than this one, obviously. But it looks really good. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of lightsabers and a lot of force kung fu and stuff, you know? Carrie Ann Moss looks amazing in it. She's really great in these roles. So I'm really looking forward to seeing more. Fingers crossed that the entire show really is as good as the trailer. We have been fooled before, guys. We have been fooled before. But this looks pretty dope, and I am super excited about it. So if you want to watch the trailer and watch me watching the trailer, check out the channel on YouTube. I just posted it earlier. And tell me what you think. What did you guys think of the Acolyte trailer? The show itself is dropping on Disney Plus on June 4th, and we're getting a 2-episode premiere, so it'll be almost like a new movie. I don't know a whole heap and a bunch about the High Republic. I know my mother does, and she's really, really excited about it. But as I was telling Ro today when I did the live stream reaction with him on the Scare of Scuttlebutt podcast this morning, I'm very excited to see more of the mysticism and more of the magic and Jedi religion shown more in live action, because that's something we've really only gotten in the extended universe and in the legacy stuff. They don't really get into the religion and the magic and all that fun stuff in live action. So I'm really, really hoping we're getting more of that, because to me, that's the most interesting part. That's what really sets it apart from other sci-fi series like Star Trek, for example, is the mysticism. Star Trek is asthma. I started wheezing really bad and I couldn't hide it. Star Trek doesn't really have the magic. I mean, they have the Q and the prophets of Bajor, but they don't have the mysticism and the magic and the Jedi dogma and stuff that Star Wars does. And it just has seemed really odd, or maybe more like a missed opportunity that Star Wars hasn't really explored that more, or even like really in depth up until this point. Because again, I'm just beating a dead horse here. It's what really sets them apart. So I liked the trailer. I'm very hopeful. I'm trying to remain cautiously optimistic, but that trailer did look pretty dope to me. So looking forward to that. All right. And let's see. Spencer says the Acolyte looks cool. I agree. I do think it looks cool. I'm stoked to see more lightsabers. And I don't know if you noticed, I don't have the still, because I'm going to be straight with you guys. I have basically been podcasting all day. I got up and did the Acolyte reaction with Ro, and then we went straight into our recording talking about the Dark Empire. Then I did my reaction for the Acolyte. Then I've been preparing for this and graphic designing all day, so I might be a little podcast fried at the moment, but I'm hanging in there. I'm fine. Everything's fine. It's fine, right? Everything's fine. Okay. But yeah, lightsabers and all that action. Sign me up, man. Sign me up. Okay, and let's see. We've got DJ, my twin. Love ya. Trailer was okay. I try not to hold too much in them. I agree. It's very difficult with trailers these days. You don't want to get your expectations too high. Like I said, we have been fooled before, and that's no fun. It's no fun when you see a really awesome trailer and then you watch the movie or the show and it's just like, wait a minute. Remember Morbius? They kept showing all the Spider-Man stuff and nothing, but that's Sony. So they're the CW of superhero movies. Yeah. But another cool, I'm looking for a hair type because I'm already like ready to. Another thing I enjoyed about the Acolyte trailer was it didn't give away the entire show. That happens a lot. We watch a trailer like, well, now I know everything that's happening. Where's the surprise? I like being surprised. So I'm very glad that they gave very little away and just gave us a taste. And if you are a fan of Game of Thrones, you will notice that this is where I was at before I got off into the weeds. Didn't you guys miss me? Miss me just getting off in the weeds all the time? But if you're a fan of Game of Thrones, the scene where you see all the Jedi kind of together in that outdoor wooded area, in the back, the blonde kid with the curly hair, that's the kid who played Tommen, King Tommen in Game of Thrones. So nice to see him back again. Where is my hair tie? Like for reals. What have I done here? Let's see. What book or series do you think shows the Jedi path the best? I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't really read a whole lot of the extended universe. And the ones I have read, other than the comic book Dark Empire that I just read about a month ago, haven't read a lot of them, so I'm not very well versed. But Dark Empire, to me, it really showed a lot of what it means to be a Jedi and the struggle. Why Luke and Leia were twins. Why that's important. I don't want to spoil the story for you guys if you haven't read it. But big fan of Dark Empire. And I enjoy Luke's struggle and wanting to learn, why did my dad turn to the dark side? What was his struggle like? I don't know. I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah, there you go. Hello, Taladia Plays. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming. Guys, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new, I really do hope you subscribe and set that notification bell on so you get notified whenever I'm back with this nerdy content and mastering a prayer. I will write that down because you know what? I'm just going to say it. I've never read Heir to the Empire. I'm familiar with it and I've glossed over it. I do love the concept and what I have read of it, but I really want to sit down and give it a good attention, give it my attention. I've been rereading Dune right now, so I'll add that to my list. Okay, guys, let's get into some topics. Oh, what do we got here? Nope. I don't know where Emmet is. I guess he's not coming. That's okay. I can totally not make an ass out of myself by myself, right? Right? Probably no. It makes it worse because then there's no one else to fill the silence and I just keep talking and get annoying. So, the Acolyte trailer and then moving on. Miss Patty Jenkins. God love her and the horror show she did to Wonder Woman 84. Woo! So Patty Jenkins had, during an interview, stated that she is back working on Rogue Squadron, or that she will be directing Rogue Squadron. What have we heard from Lucasfilm? What have we heard? Have we heard anything at all? That's what we've heard. That. Nothing. Just nothing. Until I actually hear it from Lucasfilm or someone at Lucasfilm or Disney or anybody else, I'm not believing this. I mean, how many times has Kathleen Kennedy said, "You're getting this," and then 5 seconds later it's gone? Like, yeah, I agree. Listen, can you see that canvas right there? Can you see that? I keep that for a reason. So I keep that as a reminder. And it was a Christmas present from the love of my life. And he bought it for me before we saw it. But anyway, Patty Jenkins is saying that she is back as the director of Rogue Squadron. And it's very important to her because her father was a fighter pilot. I'm like, that's great. That's wonderful. And I hope you get an opportunity to do a good job with this film. But again, it's just coming from her. And this is something we're kind of used to as Star Wars fans, and not just as Star Wars fans. I mean, look at all the stuff that's happened in the last year. Henry Cavill's like, I'm back as Superman, hooray! And then the very next day, he's like, so no. James called me and said no. And then he did the same thing to Gal Gadot, told her. She comes out on her Instagram. Oh, we're so excited for Wonder Woman 3. I just talked to James. And then 5 seconds later, no. Sorry, that's not happening for you. So until we hear something from Lucasfilm, it's just rumor and gossip. It's just rumor and gossip. So again, yeah, I get it, man. I do. Okay. And has anyone read this comment from Michael Keaton? Like, Michael Keaton was doing an interview and he's talking about how he's asked why he was in the Morbius movie. Like, why were you asked to do it? What were you doing there? And he's like, I don't know. I don't know. And honestly, I don't think Sony knows. He said that. He flat out said, I don't think Sony even knows why they had me in that movie. Good for you, Michael Keaton. This is why we love you. Like, Sony, why are you doing this? Like, are you completely self-unaware? You, like, dude, straight from Morbius to Madam Web, and what I'm seeing of Craven just looks that. Craven is this hunter. He's this master hunter. He hunts animals and he's not a good guy. And the Sony version of it is he's trying to protect animals and he got superpowers from a drop of lion blood getting into an open boo-boo. Okay, Sony. Okay. But Michael Keaton, I love it when actors get older and then they just absolutely stop giving a rip and telling you exactly how they feel. So, Madam, yes, I completely agree. Madam Web made Morbius look like a good movie. Like, seriously, I made a joke that at least with Morbius, I could imbibe my bedtime herbs and get a good laugh out of it. But Madam Web, Madam Web, you couldn't even do that. It was just like, is that a boom mic? So that means that was the best shot they had of that. And the chick editing was like, you know what? This is the best shot I got. But honestly, this is the least of this movie's problems, so we'll just leave it in. And to have the cast come out and say things like, look, I was just hired to do a job. Like, Sydney Sweeney is really winning me over with her comments on this movie. Like, when she hosted Saturday Night Live, she flat out said, you guys definitely didn't see me in Madam Web. Like, good for you. And Dakota Johnson, who's like, that was a terrible experience. I will never do another superhero movie again. I don't blame you. If that was the first superhero movie I ever did, it would be my last. I mean, all of the scenes with those girls in those costumes were in the trailer, and they even stole footage from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. Just, I'm sorry, I just remembered, Sydney Sweeney, not Sydney Sweeney, but Dakota Johnson in the Madam Web wheelchair with the glasses going, I see you. Good Lord. Oh, and you're telling me not one person at Sony watched that film and said, um, do you think maybe we dropped the ball? No, not one person. I'd be interested in hearing what some of the crew has to say. Hmm. What about you? I am. I totally am. Okay, so moving on. We are getting word from several insiders in the comic book movie world that Henry Cavill is actually cast as a Wolverine variant in Deadpool 3, and he'll be a variant wearing a long brown coat. Now, there have been many times in the comics and the movies, because the whole thing is supposed to be kind of like Deadpool kills the Fox universe, right? And so there's been many times where Wolverine's been in a brown coat. In the live action, it was in the X-Men Origins Wolverine. We saw him in the brown coat and stuff. So I'm wondering if that's got something to do with it, or if he's going to be kind of like, because Sabretooth has been known to wear a brown coat a lot, so maybe it's some kind of mix of Sabretooth and Wolverine together. I don't know. I think it'd be really cool. I'm on team Captain Britain for Henry Cavill. I would love to see him as Captain Britain. It makes sense. It makes 100% total sense to me. But I can also see him as doing an amazing Cyclops. And let's be real here. Cyclops has gotten the shaft in live action every single time. They nerf him hard and they make him kind of like this whiny D bag. That's not my Cyclops, man. Cyclops is like Captain America. He's a leader. He's a like just a tough guy, he's freaking Cyclops, man. Don't make him into a freaking whiny weenie boy. That's no. I think Cavill would be pretty great as Cyclops. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you want to see Henry Cavill as the new Wolverine going forward? Do you want to see him as Captain Britain? Do you want to see him as Cyclops, Hyperion? I mean, really, there's so many different options that it could be. So tell me in the comments below. We got 21 of you. Hello, everybody. Let's see some chatter. Tell me what you think. This is an interactive experience. I'm here for you. Yes, I'm here for you. Okay, so while you're mulling over your Henry Cavill fan casting for the MCU, have you guys been hearing what's going on or what's coming out about Quantum Mania? Andy O'Brien and Paul Rudd himself both have come out to say that the set was absolutely beyond chaotic, that they were getting new pages and rewrites up until the final day of shoots. Like the final day. It's like unheard of. That's a mess. It's a straight up mess. Oh yeah. I mean, Spencer, totally. Cavill, he could play any of those characters. He's a super nerd. He's one of us. One of us. So it'd be super cool to see him in any of those roles. I really like him as Captain Britain. Like I said, I'm with you. I think that just writes itself. He looks like Captain Britain. He is British. He's big and muscular. Let the Brits have a superhero too. They've earned it. Have they? I think so, maybe. But give them Captain Britain and let it be Henry Cavill. Just saying. But the Quantumania thing, everyone is saying that they were rewriting virtually everything constantly. That's some amateur right there. I mean, that is some amateur hour stuff. That means nobody had any idea what they were doing. Nobody knew how the movie was going to really end. And I understand that Kevin Feige had his hands really full. He had a lot of projects and he had to delegate. You know, he had a lot of stuff going on. He had to delegate. So he would say, okay, you handle this, you handle that. But the problem was, these people did not have the care, the je ne sais quoi, whatever it is that Feige has, the knowledge, the experience to give it the Feige touch like he was doing with phase 1 through 3. So it makes sense that these people wouldn't do as good of a job, but holy shnikes, Batman. Victoria Alonso just really shit the bed on that one. Part of the problem was she ticked off and harassed and abused 35 VFX houses worked on Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. 35 houses. That's hundreds of people, okay? And she pissed them all off and they just walked. They're like, we're done. And they had to cut at least 11 action scenes because of it. And because of this, all the way up to the end, they're getting rewrites every single day. Nobody had no idea what they were doing when they showed up on the set each day. That's completely unprofessional. And this is a multi-billion-dollar company. And they were that unorganized or disorganized, pardon me. They were that disorganized and unprofessional. Like, there's a problem. There's a big problem. And the problem was Feige's one man and can't trust his underlings. Hey, Nick, what's up? Thanks for joining. And what's up, Truth? How's it going, my friend? All right, so I'm sorry, my nose is itchy, and I think it's a psychosomatic thing. As soon as I'm on camera, my nose itches. Okay, so Quantumania, super chaotic on set, super disorganized. Anyone surprised? We saw the end result, which leads me to, Godzilla -1, they won the Oscar for VFX. They had 25 total people doing VFX on that movie with a budget of just over $10 million. That's it. As opposed to Quantumania, which had like a $250 million budget and 35 VFX houses. That's just, oh my God. It really goes to show you how disorganized Marvel has been the last couple of years. And I hope they've learned a lesson. I really do. I hope that they have realized that just because you throw something at us doesn't mean we're going to love it. We don't just love superhero movies. We love good superhero movies. And I know that they're saying now they're going to focus more on quality rather than quantity, but we've all heard that before, right? We have all heard this before. They're saying that they're no longer doing a sequel to Eternals. They've scrapped that. They're not doing the Ant-Man 4, obviously. Like, if they went and made a fourth Ant-Man movie after Quantumania, I mean, that would be super concerning. And they've also scrapped Marvels 3. The Marvels was better than Quantumania. The Marvels wasn't that bad. It has its issues. There are a lot of plot holes. You can tell a lot of stuff was cut out. Things feel a little, okay, why didn't they go into that more? Like, there was a lot of potential. First of all, you've got Monica, who lost her mother. She blipped for 5 years. And where was Aunt Carol? She was gone. And then you have young Kamala Khan, who I absolutely love. Oh my God. Iman Vellani is Kamala Khan. I love that kid. Anywho, she's got this huge hero worship for Carol. And you can see in Monica how she's relating to that. She's relating to having that hero worship for this person. But in Monica's case, she got burned by that later. And it's almost like, well, why couldn't you have expanded on that and showed that relationship dynamic between Monica and Kamala and be like, hey, kid, look, I know you just absolutely love her, but you can't put all your trust into her because she kind of takes off and then she's not there. And then you have Carol, who 35 years previous to this obliterated the sun for an entire solar system on accident, but she killed billions of people and it's not bothering her at all. She doesn't act like it's bothering her. It's not bothering her. What kind of person doesn't get like sad about that or feel a little bit guilty about destroying an entire solar system? What? Couldn't there have been something to that, like show her deal with that and make up? Look, there was just a lot of potential in that film that wasn't realized. The musical scene fell out of place for me. I'm just saying. And I like musicals. I do. But it felt out of place. That was one of the scenes where you could tell stuff was cut out. And a lot of other context was missing. But because of those films and the backlash about it, we're not getting sequels. So sorry to all the people who enjoyed those films, but you're not getting sequels. And now the big news in Marvel, like tomorrow, X-Men 97 premieres on Disney Plus. Super stoked. I was a huge fan of the animated series when I was a kid. My brother and I watched it religiously, and that's what got us into collecting those X-Men Topps cards, or not Topps. Sorry, I'm old. That's what got us into collecting the cards. Really loved the show. Gambit was my first animated crush. I love him. My cartoon crush. So it was very surprising when the creator of X-Men 97, the continuation of the X-Men animated series, and the showrunner, Beau DeMayo, was fired a week before the show dropped. Oh, Spencer, I just finished my rewatch as well. Very excited. I'm so looking forward to this. But Beau DeMayo was fired a week before, and Disney has been super hush hush about it. So I started doing some digging, and I've known this for a while, and I know that stuff has started to come out, but this is just when I schedule my live streams. Okay, I have to be on a schedule. So Beau DeMayo actually, this guy, oh no, where's the picture? I thought I uploaded it. I guess I'm going to have to. So I have censored it, and it's the only one that I have or that I care to put up here because it gets kind of racy. So Beau DeMayo, the showrunner for X-Men 97, he'd actually been kind of problematic for Disney starting back in November. Now, Beau is gay, and this has nothing to do with his sexuality whatsoever. It was the content he was posting for public view on platforms like Instagram, and then he had an OnlyFans. Now, you do you, boo-boo. I don't care what you do. I really don't. You want to make some money on the side, having yourself an OnlyFans, go right ahead. but he wasn't making money off of it. It was public. It wasn't private. It was a public OnlyFans, totally free. And the problem started on his Instagram in November, where he posted a very graphic and wildly inappropriate for public view cosplay of the Green Goblin. Okay. And then on his OnlyFans, it got really, really graphic. Now, the picture I'm going to show you is very, very extremely tame compared to the other stuff that was there. But I've blocked out the booty, but he's basically just wearing a jock strap. And he was posting his nudes and stuff like that. Unfortunately, it did not stop with just simply nudes. There were graphic sex acts that he was, I mean, not with other people, but some really beyond stuff. And I do have, let's see. No. Nope. This is all other stuff I want to talk about. Yeah. So I can't even say the words of the stuff he was doing because it's pretty graphic. The things he was doing with himself for public view for free on this OnlyFans and his Instagram. Now, the problem is, let me put my super cool overlay back up. The problem is, if you want to do that stuff, that's fine. But when you're working for Disney and Marvel, the stuff you're working on with Marvel, kids watch that. That's directed towards not just the young at heart, okay? Not just us old people who never grew up in our hearts and souls, but kids watch this stuff, you know? And the show he's working on is a cartoon. He's the showrunner for a very, very big, highly anticipated cartoon that possibly, if they're lucky, billions of kids will watch. So when you're working on something that is directed towards a younger audience, you really cannot be posting pictures and video of you joeing your D on the internet publicly, unrestricted, for free. That just feels like a bad personal decision to me. I couldn't possibly, I don't have the inhibition and the confidence to show my goods on the interwebs. God bless him, he seems to. But personally, ethically, that's just not something I could do, especially if I was someone who is working for a company that big and that much under that much scrutiny. It's under a microscope. People pay attention to everything Disney does, especially now. Especially now. And then to have a grown man post things that he's doing to himself naked on the internet, unrestricted, that's not good, my friend. And I'm not a psychologist by any means. I most certainly did not finish my degree. But for someone who is a showrunner for Disney, you're working for Disney, you're working for Marvel, and you're a showrunner. Baby, you are not broke. You're not broke. And it feels like that's someone who really needs attention and validation. It's a red flag for me. It's a red flag. I'm not saying that that's a red flag that they're going to do something to someone else, that they're going to be harmful to someone else. I'm not saying that by any means. What I'm saying is, if that's the kind of lifestyle you want to lead, I would definitely second guess working in a career path where you are going to be under scrutiny and in the public eye. That's just my way of thinking, though. Yeah, I don't think he's coming. I haven't heard from Emmet, and he might have fallen asleep. It is getting close to midnight now in Ireland, so if anyone would like to join me and talk about this stuff, I'll send you a link. Super fun. Uh, just comment in the comments if you want to jump on and talk about some stuff, and I'll send you a link. But those are my thoughts on Bo DeMeo. I I don't really feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for him that he got fired, because come on, y'all should have known better. You should have known better than to do something like that. And he's not my regular co-host. He was my guest for today. I was just going to have random guests on when I felt like it. But like I said, it's very late in Ireland. He might have fallen asleep. He's got a big day tomorrow. So he does do some work for Fox News, and he's got his own Final Furlong podcast. Hey, Sean, what's up? Hi, Nicole. So yeah, I'm soloing it today because I don't know where Emmet is. But yeah, Bo DeMeo, should have known better, honey. You can't put your nudie patootie out for public view unrestricted when you work on a kids show. So let's not do that anymore. All right, next topic, and this one I'm kind of stoked about. Which does remind me, there was something else I forgot to upload that. I'll do that while I'm talking, if I can possibly do two things at the same time. Probably not. I don't know what I've called this thing. I hate that I don't know what I've named things. What did I name it? I don't know. Where did I save it? Also, I don't know. It might as well be out there in the ether. So, I could do it from my... Ooh, shall I be risky? Shall I? But anyway, it has been confirmed that DC Studios is working on a live action Teen Titans vehicle. And I love Teen Titans. I absolutely love Teen Titans. So I am super excited for that. I appeared twice. Hello. Oh my God. Okay. See, this is me trying to upload something from my phone and making a huge mess of things because I'm here all by myself. I'm just all by myself. And I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know why people watch me, but it's fine. I'm going to be okay. I don't know why that's there. I don't want a video. It just, good Lord, irritating. So anyway, they're working on a Teen Titans project. I don't know if it's a show. I don't know if it's a movie, but it is going to be live action. And I'm kind of stoked about that because I really do love the Teen Titans. I really, really do. I hope we actually get a Wonder Girl. A good Wonder Girl. Like they had Wonder Girl in that Titans show on HBO Max. So little disappointed in how they portrayed her, though. She wasn't really there very long, and then they killed her. It made me sad. But they are working on that project. And who knows? Gunn can come back in 6 months and say, You misunderstood me. He did. He confirmed it on Threads. I didn't upload it. I'm sorry. I can't find it. Yeah. Like, hey, if you want to jump on here, Spencer, you let me know. I'll send you a link because I'm drowning. Not really. I'm fine, I guess. But hey, the offer's there if anyone wants to jump on, since Emmet is probably asleep in Ireland somewhere. Hope he has a helicopter. Inside joke. Um, also, Batman 2. The Batman 2 is delayed another year. They're saying that the 4-month long strike we had for the writers and actors has set them back 18 months. We have seen this before, and I'm telling you, we're not getting this second Batman film. If we are, I will be absolutely shocked. But James Gunn is the absolute worst when it comes to getting a straight answer out of anyone. And he seems to be like a very non-confrontational person. Like, if you get him face to face, he's going to be like, "Oh, no, it's great. We're really talking about things. It's going to be good." But then as soon as he's behind a keyboard, he's like, "No, that's not happening. You misunderstood me." So this is what I call is one of Gunn's Midwestern nopes. He would say, "Yeah, we're doing this thing and we're doing that thing and it's going to be great. Don't worry about it." And then a few months later, he just talks about it less and less until it goes away. And he's like, "What are you talking about? We're not doing that. Where'd you hear that? Oh no, you misunderstood me." So we're not getting the Batman 2. I really don't feel like it's going to happen at this point. So, and I was very surprised. Yeah. All right, Spencer, I'll send you a link. I was very surprised. I don't remember what I was, because I got distracted. Yeah, it's not going to happen. It's not. Give me 2 seconds, Spencer. I will send you a link. Talk amongst yourselves. The peanut is neither a pea nor a nut. Discuss. All right, coming your way, Spencer. Right now. Okay. And I agree, Sean. Wonder Girl in the Titans show, she was okay, but she wasn't exactly Wonder Girl. Donna Troy is a clone of Diana. That's her sister. So why couldn't we have that? I don't know, but we didn't get it. So yeah, no Batman 2. I don't think it's happening. Another thing that Gunn seems to have trouble with is what's canon and what's not. Now, oops. Old Gunn really loves social media. I keep throwing it out there that maybe someone should take his phone from him before he gets on the toilet, but that doesn't seem to be happening. So, yet again, people are asking questions about Peacemaker, and they're right to do so. What's canon? You know, you said you were doing a reboot. Well, it's a soft reboot. We're getting rid of everything except what I created. And then people ask, well, is Peacemaker canon? Because at the end of Peacemaker, you got your headless Justice League, except for, of course, I don't want to say his name because he's such a butthole. I don't want to give him any more attention. But Smezra Schmiller and Jason Momoa, you could see them and they spoke and everything, but everyone else's heads were cut off. When Gunn was pressed about it, he said some of season 1 of Peacemaker is canon and some is not. What do you mean? Can you be specific, please? Like, what are you talking about? How can only some of your show be canon? I need this spelled out for me. I need a map. I need something that explains what you're talking about. And then we have Spencer. What's up, Spencer?
Hello. I'm doing
Hello.
good. How
Thank
are
you
you
for
doing?
filling in.
No problem.
All right, let me see if I can get this. Let me customize it a little bit.
Oh, you're all good.
There we go. That's a little better. So it's not really stabbing you in the eye so much. So anyway, have you heard about James Gunn saying only some of Peacemaker is going to be canon and the rest is not?
Yeah, I have. It's weird, right? Because I was under the impression that I I think a movie like The Suicide Squad makes a lot of sense to carry in right into this new DCU, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it said it's different, and you could still. I guess the only weird thing there is you'd still have like Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn there, but like other than that, like I think it fits pretty well into like what a new DCU would be, and so it's kind of weird hearing now that Peacemaker season 1 is like a pseudo canon sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't. And that so season 2 is going to be like a fresh start, kinda.
I don't know.
It again. This is James Gunn just tweeting from the toilet. Like that's what it feels like. It feels like some angry kid fighting on the internet. Like, take the phone from him before he goes to the toilet, Jen, with the French toast. Which reminds me, someone asked Jennifer Holland on Instagram, like, hey, give us some schedules and stuff. So here's the comment. Jennifer, we want the timeline of the new DCU, please. And so she says, awesome shit, April 2024. Fire, May 2024. 3 people in superhero costumes, June 2024. Then of course the Peacemaker mermaid dude emoji, July 2024. Secret stuff that's also fire, August 2024. Filming stuff with people who wear costumes and kick major ass. That's all I can really share for now. What?
I don't know if that's hinting at anything or if I have no idea.
And what are, as far as I know, nothing is coming out from the DCU until next year. So what is this stuff in April, May, June, and July? What is that? And then super secret stuff in August. So for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, you're telling me stuff is coming out?
I don't know what that means at all.
What's going on in the Gunn household? Are they on meth? I'm starting to worry that the Guns are on drugs. Just because none of this is making sense. I do know Superman and Peacemaker are filming at the same time. Starting in June of this year. They're going to be filming in Ohio from June to August, I believe. Maybe that's what she's talking about. I have no idea. But
possible.
I replaced you because you were an hour late. You're an hour late. I even sent you warnings. You're muted. I can't hear you. Emmet. Where's my private chat? I don't see it anywhere. I can't hear you.
No, here.
You muted your mic. I don't know what's wrong. He has hair this time, though. That's great. Your hair looks good, but we can't hear you. Did you plug in your mic after you clicked on StreamYard? Because sometimes it does that if you plug your mic in after you get on StreamYard.
That's funny.
I think you've lost weight too.
Me?
Yay! There he is.
There we go.
Bloody hell. I'm so sorry. I thought it was, so I've obviously messed up the Irish time big time. I thought it was a 6
I
hour.
even sent you
pushback.
messages. I sent you messages like 1 hour, one more hour,
I'm
like
so
10-minute
sorry.
warning, nerd.
Oh man, I apologize, Dani. I thought it was 11 p.m. and I was even saying to myself, "This is great now because I've just done another show, wrapped that." I was like, "Oh, this is timing has worked out perfect."
So
obviously not.
Emmett, this is Spencer. Spencer Emmett.
Nice
Hello
to meet you.
Hello,
everyone in
Spencer.
the
How are
chat.
you? Nice to meet you.
I'm doing good. Nice to meet you too.
This is Emmet Kennedy from the Final Furlong podcast. And
Excellent.
Oh my god, I didn't even realize. Look at the glass, the pint glass I grabbed.
Hey, go on, Ireland.
Sláinte. Okay, so
speaking of pint glass,
we were just talking about James Gunn not knowing what the shite is going on in the DCU. He has said that someone asked him what is canon, is Peacemaker season 1 canon, and he said some
this
of
is
season
not-
1.
What the hell is he doing?
Yeah, no idea. And like, how can only some of a show be canon? Like, I'm trying to wrap my brain around it, and I can't.
We all do remember the fact that James Gunn is the guy who fired Henry Cavill. Josh from Den of Nerds then said, he hates him. He fired back at Josh and said, "Oh, you live in your mom's basement," which is a really childish thing for the studio.
He's
to
like,
say.
"Oh, I'm just tell you what I heard." And Gunn said, "Oh, I heard that you got kicked out of your mom's basement and that you used to give valid information or something like that." I was like,
yeah, but I mean, bear in mind that this is the guy who's the head of a studio, and you're attacking a YouTube content creator and getting people to dogpile on. And then ever since Josh said that, it turns out he's probably right. Yeah, there he is tweeting from his golden Trump-like toilet. Because he's almost 100% right about it. Like, it makes no sense to replace Henry Cavill as Superman. It makes no sense to get Shot of the Rock, which is the highest performing DCU movie, Black Adam, which was terrible, by the way. They're all bloody terrible, those fucking DC movies. They're trash. But at least it was actually a film that did well at the box office. Now, he gets rid of the Rock, gets rid of Henry Cavill, but then is telling you, "Oh, well, my wife's show, yeah, that's kind of canon, and I'm making season 2 of it, so I can do what I want."
It gets
unlikable twat.
It gets better because someone asked her what the DCU timeline was on Instagram. Here's her response. Awesome shit, April 2024. Fire, May 2024. 3 superheroes costume emojis, June 2024. Mermaid emoji, July 2024. Secret stuff that's also fire, August 2024. Filming stuff with people who wear costumes and kick major ass. That's all I can share for now. What? What does any of that mean? There's not supposed to be any DCU content coming out for like a year. So what is coming out for the next 5 months?
Does she mean they're filming that stuff then?
I don't know. Someone asked what the timeline was, and she answered with that. Like, I don't even think she answered their question.
She doesn't understand what timeline means, does she?
I'm concerned they're all on meth. I mean...
Allegedly.
So, yeah, I have
allegedly, according to sources.
I'm just so concerned. And since you're here now, I'm going to quickly go back over the Beau DeMayo thing. So I'm sure you heard, that Beau DeMayo got let go from Marvel Studios last week. X-Men 97 does drop tomorrow. It premieres tomorrow. And its showrunner and creator, Beau DeMayo, has been fired. Well, I found out why. It starts back in on Instagram in November of last year. He posted a very inappropriate, graphic Green Goblin cosplay on his personal Instagram, which is public and unrestricted. There's unrestricted public access to it. So he posts that, and Disney was like, okay, listen, you can't do stuff like that because you work for Disney. Okay. You work for Marvel. You're working on shows that are kind of directed and geared towards younger people, children. You can't have stuff going on like that. Okay, fine. So then he has an OnlyFans, a free public OnlyFans, where he posts things like this, and I've censored it. Him in a jockstrap. This is the tamest picture I had. The tamest. Because the sources that provided me the information told me and showed me it was very, very graphic. Very graphic, performing basically porn on himself, unrestricted, free to the public, OnlyFans, pornography. And he's a showrunner for Marvel/Disney. So they were like, yeah, you're done. You're out. So I personally, as I said right before you jumped on, live and let live. You go do your thing. Do I think pornography should be unrestricted, free for children to stumble upon? No, not particularly. I do monitor my kids' stuff. Some people don't watch that closely. And even if you do watch your kids closely, they'll find just about anything. But when you're working in a career that is that scrutinized and that much heavily in the public eye, come on, dude, use some common sense. Use some common sense. So yeah, he was basically performing stuff that was really gross. I find very gross. Bodily fluids. I don't want to say more because it's, but yeah, that's not cool, man. It's not cool.
Marvel are the studio that stood by Jonathan Majors when he was accused of some pretty heinous things, and even stood by him during the yo, peace in our time, breaking up the fight. The most natural fight that ever happened anywhere in the world. A fight that was being filmed on a fucking laptop. Literally on a laptop. Outside an acting school. But of course it was natural and just happened that he was running by. They stood by him through all of that until he was found guilty. There's no way that they fired this dude with no cause. Like, there's no way they're going to drop him unless there's something very wrong.
Yes. And I've seen it with my own eyes. Like, that was the only picture I felt comfortable with.
But to be honest, Dani, I don't really like you do you, like whatever you want to do on OnlyFans.
Right.
We're all adults. If you want to go and do that, then fair play. But I only care if the show is good. Like, if X-Men 97 is fire, then who cares? And he's gone now anyway. And like the animation, I know they're trying to make it as real to the original X-Men 90s show as possible, but they're also using the same animation through a filter that they used for What If. And What If season 1 was, it it was okay. The last 2 episodes were really cool. The zombie episode was cool.
Mhm.
What If season 2 was absolutely atrocious, and that finale. I mean, this.
I thought they were like, I liked the episode with Peter in the 80s.
Oh yeah, that
I
one was
liked
cool.
that one. I did. I enjoyed that one. But
I'm
then
not
again,
even sure I remember it. I thought it was the most forgettable.
it was
Like,
pretty
I
forgettable.
watched it all, and I was going. Literally, I was thinking, it's such a shame that weed isn't legal in Ireland, because I need to watch this stoned, and instead I had to watch it drunk. Just had to keep getting drunk. I was asking myself, why am I watching this shit? Like, this is not fun. I'm not enjoying this. But I'm such a Marvel fan. I'm like, oh, I better sit through it and watch it. Maybe it'll get better. And then
Right.
Captain Carter, who's a cool character, by the way, but Peggy Carter is a great character in her own right. She is a powerful, dynamic, interesting, engaging, really heroic character as Agent Carter. Captain Carter is, an interesting what might have been if she got the powers and not Steve Rogers. And now they've just turned her into, so she's basically better than Steve ever was or ever could be. And she's able to wield all the Infinity Stones with no cost to her whatsoever. Meanwhile, Thanos loses an arm.
Yeah.
Like, Hulk loses an arm.
Yeah.
But she's fine. And she can wield Hela's helmet and the power and the 10 rings.
Everything.
Just everything. No consequences.
Yeah.
What is this nonsense? Like, this is completely defying the rules of what the Infinity Stones are and all of that power dynamic. Why are we? So plus, my overall point is, sorry, Spencer, just to say, I'm seriously concerned. That's what they gave us in season 2 of What If, telling us, "Oh, we've heard you, fans. We're trying to improve," and now we're supposed to be excited for X-Men '97. It's like, oh man, I'm nervous.
Well, they've also come out. They were saying that we're going to focus on quality rather than quantity. I'm like, okay, we've heard that. We've heard that a few times before, and so they've canceled the Eternals sequel, Ant-Man and the Wasp 4, and Marvels 3. So they've canceled all those. But we're all like, well, see, I'm from the show me state. Like, you got to show me. I want to see it before I believe it this time, because you keep saying, oh, well, we're going to do better and we're going to choose quality over quantity. We're going to cancel all these. We're like, okay, but what are you going to do? Like, we know what you're not doing now. What are you going to do? And so far it's fire the porn star that was showrunning.
Fire the actor who played Kang.
And
you're big bad. You put in everything, and you showed us infinite versions of him to be sure that only one person can be Kang. So that's going to be fun to see how they dig themselves out of that one. I mean, isn't there a simple solution to this, though? Just do a digital insert, or either get Jonathan Majors back for one scene and just have Doom show up.
Dude, so
Doom just kills them all.
1993, Brandon Lee was filming The Crow. He dies on set because of a malfunction with a blank. And that was like the first time in history, really, that they used that kind of technology they put like a stuntman in place to finish his scenes and, put his face over the stuntman's in the scenes that needed to be finished. So, I mean, they did it in 93. We got better technology now.
I'm guessing there's more complications with SAG to replace an actor who's been fired.
Absolutely.
You've have Majors turn up to set, but even if you don't, even if you just take all of the stuff, they've got loads of footage. Mm-hmm. Just Kang is lame. Just kill him. Have Doom show up, takes him out, and Doom becomes the centerpiece.
Or hear me out. What if it's Ryan Gosling?
Well, isn't Gosling meant to be Doom?
I've been hearing. Really, could he be Doom? He could be Doom, I
I
guess.
don't.
But
I
I
don't know
heard
if I
it's
see
either
that.
Nova or Ghost Rider.
I have heard Ghost Rider. That'd be really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I
Have
can
you?
see him as either. But Doom, where'd you hear Doom from?
I heard over a year ago he was cast as Doom.
Really? Oh, that's when. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
But sometimes Marvel actors get cast, but they don't give them a role.
Uh-huh.
They're just like, we really like you. We want you in the MCU. You're cast.
Mm-hmm.
But then they discuss which role it's going to be. I think he was signed a long, long time ago. And they were possibly giving him Doom. And now time's moved on a little bit and they're maybe rethinking somebody else for that role. Because there's been a few other names. I'll tell you who'd be... Well, would he be phenomenal in it, actually? Maybe not. Like, if we want Doom having the authentic Eastern European accent, then it's probably best to look at somebody else and then put Gosling in the Nova role. But
yeah, I would love to see him as Nova.
There was a report last week that Marvel confirmed, Brad Winterbaum confirms Nova in development, and he didn't say that. He said they're developing everything because they're now acting as an actual Hollywood studio as opposed to just doing it on the fly like they have been since day one, and that they'll develop more things than they'll ever make, and that Nova's in development. But that doesn't mean that.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it gets
there's going to be a
greenlit.
special. My understanding is that they've killed all of the special presentations. No one watched that stuff. Nobody watched Werewolf by Night, and I love that. I thought it was great.
Oh, I thought it was fantastic.
But nobody watched it, and nobody watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like, people might have tuned in for WandaVision, but that was plagued by production issues. Like, I don't really mind that so much. But like, you base a film on the deeply unlikable Captain Marvel with everybody's favorite actress Brie Larson. And the way you beat that film up is you take the star of a mediocre TV show that no one watched, and the co-star, not even co-star, of a critically acclaimed, but again, TV show that nobody watched in WandaVision, and that's going to be your big epic blockbuster. Oh shit! It's the worst performing movie at the box office Marvel's ever done. Who could have thunk it?
That movie had so many problems, but it had potential, and they just it's kind of like they're like, hey, we're making money from this superhero thing. Just throw shit at the wall. Like, just throw shit. They'll watch it. If it's got a superhero in it, they'll watch it. So just do it. It doesn't matter. Just do it. And so they did. And then we were like, this is awful. It was like the Wonka experience in Glasgow. That's what Disney became with that's what Marvel became. The Marvel experience.
Glasgow. The Glasgow Olympus.
Yeah. That died way too quick. People stopped talking about that too quickly for my taste, because that was gold mine. But
don't worry, we're getting a movie.
Yeah, I know. But now I find my hair tie. That's ridiculous. But yeah, so that's kind of what Disney has done with Marvel. They sent out a lot of really shiny, pretty advertising, but when you look at it real close, you realize that something's not quite right here. And then you show up with your $40 and you get one jelly bean and a half a cup of lemonade, and they're like, here you go. Here's your Marvel movie.
A mucky puddle, and it's the chocolate stream.
Yeah.
The kids are. Yeah. I like Captain Marvel 2, as it was called in China, or The Marvels, had the potential to be a really good film.
Yes.
And if they had made it, which they were clearly leaning towards, I don't know what happened in terms of the writing of that show or the writing of that film, but they were clearly leaning towards, let's make her a war criminal.
Yeah.
Let's make her somebody who unintentionally committed genocide. She kills the Supreme Intelligence.
And it doesn't even bother her.
Takes out the Supreme Intelligence She should have known, by the way, because she lived on the Kree
Yeah.
world. She should have known exactly what she was doing. But somehow she
Exactly.
didn't realize that by taking intelligence, killed millions of innocent people. And then Miss Marvel, who idolizes her, sees her prevent her from saving innocent people. Skrulls die. She then learns what she did on the Kree homeworld, that she committed a war crime. Realizes that you can't just look up to heroes. You have to be your own hero, and tries to be a better version of Captain Marvel herself. And something happens in the movie where Captain Marvel saves her, and at the end, she's the one who has the redemptive arc by sacrificing herself and ending up in the other universe. They think she's dead, but she's the one who ends up with her friend Maria Rambeau. But no, instead, it's just a creepy Miss Marvel looking at, oh, my captain, and an instantly forgettable movie that does nothing with a villain that goes nowhere.
I was mentioning earlier that, you know, they had a lot of potential with Monica being able to relate to, I'm trying to cut this string off, but it's not happening. With Monica being able to relate to Kamala's hero worship of Carol, but she was let down by Carol, so she could be like, hey kid, I know you really like her, but you know, you shouldn't always meet your heroes. She'll let you down. You can't trust her. They really had an opportunity for the animosity there. And then Carol, 35 years prior, like you said, accidentally kills billions of people and just skips about her life like no big whoop. Are you kidding me? You're telling me you don't feel the tiniest bit of guilt? Like, that should have been expanded upon. They really had this huge opportunity to bring this all together and have some really nice character development. And they just, I don't understand. Like, how could you not see that? It's so obvious to me that that's what you would do, but they didn't, or they cut it out. I know they cut a lot of stuff out of it. There was a lot of context apparently about that musical scene that they cut out. I felt it was out of place for me. I know a lot of people did like that, but it felt out of place for me. It just felt kind of weird. And I do agree that Iman Vellani is awesome. I think she is Kamala Khan. She's great at playing Kamala Khan. She's writing the comics now. And
Cool to see.
I love that she has that book she carries with her to complain to Kevin Feige about stuff like, you can't do this. This isn't canon. You can't do this because this isn't right. Like, good for her. I really see her doing a lot of behind the camera stuff going forward when she gets older in the MCU. Yes, I do see her as being a part of that future, but I feel like they really, really let her down with this movie. Like, they have a lot of potential with this kid. And to me, she was the saving grace of the movie. She was the part I liked. The part I could live with in this movie was her. Her joy is just absolutely infectious. Like, how excited she was when Samuel Jackson shows up at her door. And just, she's adorable. I love her. But the rest, it's like they don't care. The passion isn't there for it. And I feel like Kevin Feige is the one who has that passion, but he's got so many projects going on because Disney's like, more, give us more. We want it now. Give us more. And he had to delegate stuff. And of course you get people like Victoria Alonso who have, it all just goes to her head. She decides, I'm going to play Kingmaker and treat people like absolute dog crap. So no wonder all these VFX houses quit on them like halfway through Quantumania because she's treating people like garbage. And then you have Godzilla -1 show up with $10 million and 25 people and win an Oscar for VFX. Like, it's not hard.
Yeah, Godzilla -1 really shamed all of those.
Yes. I'm here for
all of those big budget and particularly
Disney Marvel, like the VFX for Quantumania.
Yeah.
Right.
I knew
That's some-
people who worked on Quantumania, and I remember last year when I was out in Burbank, I'd say, "Oh, well, tell me about this." They wouldn't tell me anything, and it wasn't like, "Oh, I can't tell you." It was like, "I can't talk about it." Mm-mm. Like they just were not thrilled. And what I was saying earlier is that Katie O'Brien and Paul Rudd have been recently quoted as saying it was a disaster. It was utter chaos the entire time. Up until the last day of filming, they were getting rewrites. Like every single day. Every day they're getting new pages. And
But
that's
that
just,
was another thing they were going to do. They were going to kill Ant-Man.
yeah.
And instead, they ended up going, hey, you know what would be a great idea for the introduction of our big bad villain? Because Loki was great, but nobody watched Loki. So this is the introduction of your like Disney Plus is $11 billion in the hole.
Oh, I believe
Like,
it.
like, so they just got to get their heads out of the, oh yeah, everybody's watching the Disney Plus stuff. No, they're not. They're not watching it, but they are going to the films.
Hmm.
And your introduction for the big bad, the new Thanos, is he gets killed by Ant-Man.
He gets killed by ants.
Pissed me off so much.
You know what sucks is that you know how Dave is. He's a homebody, good old boy. He doesn't like going to movies. Like he went and saw Captain Marvel with me a few years ago, and he fell asleep and was snoring, and I had to like people are staring, wake up. The 2 times I have convinced him in the last year and a half to go to the movies with me was Black Adam and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So he's like, I don't want to go to the movies with you anymore.
I don't blame him. You couldn't say, hey, let's go see Dune 2. Nope. Black Adam.
This was like 2 years ago now. Okay, Dune 2 wasn't
What was your
out
next
yet.
great plan? Shazam 2?
I don't know. All I had to choose from was what was out there in the theaters at the time. Okay, I can't time travel yet, Emmet. I'm working on it, but
Not yet, Danny. Not yet.
Not
But
yet.
I will say, like, as somebody very kindly commented, like, Amanda Villani's great. Yeah, she is great. I really like her, and she's very clearly perfectly cast as Miss Marvel. I don't care about Miss Marvel, and I don't care about the Young Avengers. Cancel that shit. No one cares about it. Get rid of it. Back up the money truck. Get Robert Downey Jr. back. Make him alternate version evil Iron Man. Get Tom Cruise in to do as you were going to do for Multiverse of Madness. Have him do his superior Iron Man cameo, but get RDJ back. You've shit canned Armor Wars. Get him back. Get Chris Evans back. Get Scarlett Johansson back. Let's have one more go at all the heroes. Throw in Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman as well for Secret Wars, and then end it and go X-Men Saga into Phase 6 or whatever you want to do. With that. And Feige can ride off into the sunset, take over Star Wars, get rid of Kathleen Kennedy, and save it. Save us all from her tyrannical reign.
If I say, "Did you hear?" one more time, if you keep going, I kill you. The next 30 minutes is just me saying, "Did you hear?"
What did I hear?
Okay. Did you hear that about the screenings for Armor Wars that they did this last week?
Wait.
They did. People are like, they've done some screenings, and from what they, of what they have, and people are like hating it. They said they hate the politics in it. Like it's like the whole thing. Like it's every part of the movie. They hate the politics. They say it's messy. They don't quite understand what's going on. VFX. People are absolutely hating, like the focus groups, the screenings that
do you mean Captain America Brave New World?
No. Oh wait, yes, not Armor Wars.
Oh,
Sorry.
that makes more sense. I was really confused.
Yeah.
about
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm old.
That's okay.
It's my only excuse. But yeah, Captain America: Brave New World. All the politics, people are absolutely hating this movie. So much so
My understanding is
that
my understanding is that film is being almost completely reshot.
yeah, like Disney's considering just scrapping it at this point because the focus groups were so bad. So bad. It's bad news. It's bad
Is
news.
anyone excited though?
I mean,
Oh, yeah, I was excited for Harrison Ford. I'll watch anything with Harrison
well,
Ford.
but even then, that's
but-
so weird. Like, I don't see him being able to take over that role compared to what.
He's like
I don't remember
80.
his name, but
William
He's
Hurt.
80 years old.
William Hurt. Thank you.
And someone was like, are we gonna get a Red Hulk series? Let that man retire. He's 80 something years old. He can't do this.
I find it so funny when they asked him, why did you do this role? He's just like, just because it's different. I haven't done it before.
He does it really. He never cares. Like, he doesn't care. It's just a job to him. Like, why is he even acting anymore? I don't know. God love him. He's such a crotchety old man, and I love that about him. That's why he's going to be such a good Red Hulk, is because it's just him. It's just really just Harrison Ford, before breakfast or something. But yeah, Brave New World may get canned.
I'm okay with
Well,
it.
if that's bad as well. Are the rumors about Thunderbolts real? That they're not based on Thunderbolt Ross's team. They're named after Yelena's soccer
Yes.
team.
They're named after Yelena's soccer team that she was on as a kid.
Yeah, I don't
Stick
like
a fork in it. It's done. Like, if that's the kind of nonsense they're coming up with,
Yeah, that's just.
it's over for the MCU.
Hey, what's up, Portal?
Woot. But
go on.
seriously, like, we're all big Marvel fans, and like, the MCU was amazing. Have you made those hats yet, Dani? The Make Marvel Great Again
yet,
hats?
and Marvel made me take it down. I think I got to put it back up, but I'm not gonna hashtag anything. But yeah, so Emmet and I had a design said "Make Marvel Great Again," and I put it up on the merch store. And of course, nobody bought it because nobody buys anything from my merch store.
Ugh.
But we had "Make Marvel Great Again" designs, and Marvel made me take it down. But I'm gonna put up a new one.
I'm gonna make a T-shirt that's Make Marvel Great Again.
Yeah, we're gonna have hats. We're gonna have shirts. I'm gonna get one in the baseball tee style. That's my favorite. But
and they got to be red hats as well, in the same font.
Absolutely. Oh
in
yeah.
the same MAGA font.
Well, I showed you. I had it 100% the same font and everything.
But like, Endgame was obviously the culmination of this epic series. Far From Home was the film that ended Phase 3. That's a brilliant movie.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk all the shit you want about Multiverse of Madness. That is top tier MCU. Mm-hmm. I love that movie. It's absolutely fantastic. But a lot of what we got in Phase 4 was
lot
just
of those kids
really dull, average, labored. Like, what even is this? I tried to remember what was so great about Moon Knight the other day. I don't even remember. And I actually liked the show, but
I like the show.
Yeah.
I don't even care anymore. Like, if Oscar Isaac comes back, great. That's fantastic.
Oh, he is. And that's what I was kind of driving to. They're doing, I've been saying it ever since Moon Knight got greenlit. They're doing Midnight Suns, and they absolutely are. But the new okay, so Blade, the new plot for Blade, it's no longer in the 20s. Blade is no longer a period piece. It's no longer taking place in the 20s. Did I not put, there we go. It's taking place in modern times, and the big bad is going to be Lilith. And it's going to be this big, like, should vampires exist? Blade just sees them as parasites that need to be destroyed. And Lilith is back. And it's all leading towards the damnation storyline. Like, I'm starting to put these little pieces together. Like, we started with Moon Knights, we're getting the Midnight Suns, and Doctor Strange is going to be involved. And now we have Blade, and the bad guy's going to be Lilith. That's damnation. And the damnation storyline is awesome. I love that storyline. Like, Doctor Strange accidentally brings hell on Earth by way of Vegas. And, Mephisto is chilling at the Inferno Hotel in the middle of Vegas. And there's a talking ghost dog. It's, that when I say it out loud, it sounds
Stop
ridiculous, but
Well, I mean, the talking ghost dog's cool. I think
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about there. So, like,
yeah,
cool.
it's his best friend. It's Wong's best friend. But the damnation storyline is pretty dope, and Lilith is a very scary bad guy, and I have hope on that. Mahershala Ali is a really big fan of Blade, and so far I keep turning my footstool. Sorry, guys. Mahershala Ali has turned down like 4 scripts already for Blade. Like, and he finally put his foot down and said, "You give me a script I approve of, or I'm walking. This is your last shot. Give me a good script." And the last script, he said, "Yes, that's it. That's a good script." So that gives me some hope that Mahershala Ali is like, "Listen, I want a good movie. I want a good story. I'm not going to do it unless it's a good story." So it's nice that there's at least some accountability from somebody who's working on the movie, because it seems like Brie Larson doesn't give a shit about the comics. She doesn't care about storylines and canon. She's there for a paycheck. I mean, yeah, it's a job, and that's what most actors are there for the paycheck. But she doesn't have much integrity when it comes to the actual role. Mahershala Ali does. He's got integrity when it comes to the character of Blade, and I respect that. And that gives me a little hope, and that's what they need. All the big 6, Chris Evans, RDJ, ScarJo, all of them except Ruffalo, they all had respect and integrity for these characters. And
Shots
that's
fired.
well, listen, Ruffalo is a turd, and everybody knows it. And I'm pretty sure he's done with the MCU. I think he has shit the bed recently because he can't keep his mind. Did anyone see him at the Oscars we're doing tiny hearts, tiny hearts? What the hell are these tiny heart things with your fingers? And how does this help abortion rights or whatever? Nobody cares, Mark Ruffalo.
The
Nobody
only thing you need
cares.
to know about the Oscars is for the last 2 years, I've been. Uh-oh, did they take me out? Did they?
What?
They
No,
don't
you're
want to
here.
hear me spit fire. They don't want to hear
No,
me
you're
spit the truth.
You're still
For the last 2
here.
years, they've been talking about the war in Ukraine and backing Zelensky, and absolutely we support the innocent people of Ukraine. Not a mention of Gaza. Not a single mention of Palestine. Like, you can't choose one conflict and then completely ignore another one. But that's Hollywood, because those people can't speak out about that because they won't work in Hollywood anymore if they do.
Oh, yeah. You can't talk about anything unless they've handed you a paper and say, you talk about this. So, the only opinions they really have are the ones that they're handed for the most part. And Ruffalo just, he just gets on my nerves so bad. He's the absolute worst. And he kept running his mouth. He's the worst. He really is. And then he did that horrible, horrible, horrible movie that's absolutely just nightmarishly veiled pedo he did that movie, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you're dumb. I hate you now. That's just the worst.
Are
There
you
was
talking about the
one
film that just won all the awards?
Poor Things. Yeah, it's hate that movie.
I
They
have
put a
not watched
baby's
that movie.
brain.
I can't comment on it, but it
They,
looks vile.
it is. They put a baby's brain in a woman's body. She discovers that sex feels good and then just starts humping everything through the whole film. Like she's naked and humping literally everyone and everything the entire time. And
Wait,
that is supposed to tell me, a woman, that it's liberating. And I'm like, no, that's not what that is. That's you trying to tell me that the way a woman is liberated is by boning. And that's not the core defining trait of me being a woman. I'm sorry. And I can't compartmentalize the fact that it is a baby's brain inside a woman's skull. I can't get past that. And I've had so many people try to tell me that no, you got to see it this way. No, I don't got to see it this way. And you know what else I really didn't need to see for the rest of my life? Mark Ruffalo naked. That's what I didn't need to see. And now that image is burned into my retinas, and I have to live with that for the rest of my life. So can we just get rid of Mark Ruffalo? And I think that's what Kevin Feige's doing, because I think he spoke out of pocket and he was talking about how, yeah, I'm getting a solo Hulk film. Yes, I am getting a Hulk film. And then the next time you hear him talk about it, he's like, well, I was told that I shouldn't have said that. And that, it's just not happening. He doesn't think I can carry a movie, a solo film like that. So, like, that's almost verbatim what he said. He said Kevin Feige told him that his Hulk isn't strong enough to carry a solo film, so he's not getting it. And when he was asked when we would see him again, he's like, I don't know. I haven't heard anything. My phone's not ringing. You're burnt.
If those of you who were watching may very well have noticed that Spencer and I went very quiet as Dani was explaining the plot of Poor Things.
We haven't watched it. Simply put.
And neither of us were going to comment on it either. It's like, that shit's wild.
Yeah, it's terrible. I wrote a review.
No. Don't leave it now. Thank you very much. Don't want to know anything more about that creepy ass movie. But
no,
in terms
that's
of
what I was leaving it at.
Like, I like Ruffalo. I can take him or leave him. I think in small doses, it's probably best to just have him in small doses. But like, Hulk is a cool character.
Yes.
And She-Hulk was absolutely the worst. And that's a disgrace, because Tatiana Maslany is a phenomenal actress. And did they do her dirty.
Yeah,
like, they did her dirty.
Actress.
They gave her utter nonsense to work with.
But
Ruffalo is on set going, yeah, this is great. Like, he accepted it. Like,
You're the master
Mark
of
Ruffalo
suspense.
didn't stand up and go, yo, you're belittling my character. Like, we're having a woman going to the one character we know tried to attempt suicide. Because he says that in Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my life is infinitely harder because I'm a woman. You don't know the stress and the pressure, and I have to deal with it every day. It's like, what are you doing?
My issue with the show was, one, I like the She-Hulk character. I've got the first run of Sensational She-Hulk on my wall. I felt like the portrayal, like her twerking and stuff, that was dead on She-Hulk. The problem with the show was that they had this great opportunity to do a wonderful episodic show. Cold open, some superhero or supervillain is beating somebody or in some kind of tussle, and the cops get called, or some situation arises. They need a lawyer. Cut to title card, and then you've got them walking into her office to get her services, and then superhero action ensues. That's what the show should have been. There wasn't enough action for me, and this is something Nicole and I talked about, that for some reason Disney is under this impression that girls who like comic books don't like action, or we want more girly stuff happening. We want more pink bows. No, we don't care about that. If we wanted pink bows, we would play with Barbie. We're wanting to watch a comic book movie about a superhero. So give us superhero stuff. There wasn't enough action. It seemed kind of messy and
Team.
silly. Like let's pull it together here.
It was terrible, Danny. There's no redeeming feature to She-Hulk. It's just absolute ass. And it's presented to you as, oh, you should love this.
Yeah.
You should like this because this is representative of strong female empowerment. This is a really strong character. Jen Walters is a cool character.
She is.
She-Hulk is a cool character. They made Jen Walters unlikable and lame. She's a terrible person, and she's a bad lawyer. And
she was not.
This is just
lawyer.
another example of Marvel doing everything on the cheap. Like David E. Kelly is writing a TV show for Disney Plus. David E. Kelly is one of the most prolific writers in the history of Hollywood. He's the dude who made Ally McBeal. He made The Practice.
Oh yeah.
All they had to do was go to David E. Kelly and say, "Look, we will give you. We're not going to pay you a huge amount of money because it turns out Hollywood actually doesn't have a whole lot of money. I know everyone thinks every actor is a millionaire. No, they're not. They're barely making a living. That's why they went on strike for the length of time they did. And that's why every major actor you see is selling you something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the toilet. Or here, drink my beer. Like, that's where the money is. The money is not in acting, unless you're RDJ getting 50 million for your back-end bonuses for box office. And that's only if the film actually makes it big. But they had the writers of that show are on record as saying, yeah, we have no idea how to make a legal drama. We don't know anything about courtroom scenes.
They had no idea. And
go to David E. Kelly, pay him whatever he needs to be paid, make an executive producer, put his name on the show, still have it that it's whatever her name is, it's brought to you by her, but David E. Kelly's an executive producer, and have him script out an actual legal drama and make it a legal comedy, Ally McBeal drama set in the MCU, where it's all your favorite peripheral MCU characters, but it's a great legal drama. But no, we're just going to do this on the cheap. And then the one time we'll do proper legal scenes is where we have to do it right, because Kevin Feige starts yelling at them going, do not mess up Daredevil.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing they got right. And then people hated on them for it. They actually got Daredevil right in that show.
Yeah. Yeah. They did. I liked it. Well, how can you not like Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock? It's like impossible. He's wonderful. He's a gem. But yeah, I completely 100% agree with you. And they have admitted that She-Hulk went so horribly wrong for them that they're like, okay, so we're going to start doing showrunners, and we're going to have proper writers' rooms, and we're going to actually schedule things. Like, we're going to do this like an actual TV show instead of just throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. So they completely changed how they do shows after that. And now they've canceled most of their slate, and they're wanting to focus on quality. I'm like, okay, we've heard this. We've heard this a few times, but do you mean it? I'm not going to believe anything until I actually see something. I want to see improvement. I'm tired of hearing anything from even the actors. Like, every time I hear and some actors say, oh, I think the audience is absolutely going to love this. They're never going to see this thing coming. They're going to be so surprised. I'm like, stop talking. Stop talking. Because I guarantee you, anytime anyone says those words, it means it's a total shit show. And they're just trying to gas you up. They're just trying to get you excited. Anytime they push too hard about anything like that, my expectations go down in the toilet. They're all saying the same thing over and over and over again. Oh, the audience is going to love it. They're going to be so surprised. We're tired of being surprised. You're surprising us with the wrong things is the problem. We don't think you know what that word really means. Shocked and saddened is more of the reactions we're giving you. I don't think you understand. It's not working. Stop doing that. Who knows? Oh, Disney
Subvert
Marvel.
expectations.
Yeah, please stop subverting our
But
expectations.
so just to get back to the story. So Blade is still happening, but it's now going to have a ghost dog in it. And
Yeah, I
Eternals
didn't.
2, Ant-Man 4, Marvels 3 are all gone.
Uh-huh.
No, to be fair, you were saying that for
They're leading to
you
the
were saying that for
Damnation.
what?
They're leading to the Damnation storyline for the Midnight Suns. They're going to do Midnight Suns.
Yeah, which if Spencer is right then about Gosling being Ghost Rider, then that would link into him coming into that. But they had to call this stuff. Like, but I know you like Agatha. Get rid of that shit. We don't need.
Comes out on my
Covenant of Chaos.
birthday.
I'm really sorry. Happy birthday. Get rid of it.
You're so mean. So mean to me.
Give Dani the copy. Give her the master copy. One master copy that you can play once, and it's like the Mission Impossible. This will self-destruct as soon as you play it. You can see it once, but that's it. Just get rid of all that shit. No, we don't need. Catherine Hahn and Aubrey Plaza are going to be in a lesbian relationship. Get out of here. No.
It's kind of like it's just gluttony, it's gluttony. They saw that we really liked, the Avenger movies, and we liked phase 1 through 3. They saw how much we liked it and how excited we got for it, and how all us YouTubers start getting together and talking about it and making whole careers over talking about their movies. And so they're like, give them more. Like, well, we're really tired and we don't have enough time and we're kind of out of money. Like, we'll take a little bit from everything and just divide it up and then just grab some guys off the street. They can write, right? Like, he was washing windows. That means he can hold a pen. And just so they can get more stuff out there. And what happened was they got sick from it. They ate too much. They got gluttony. I don't even know what words I'm saying. They became gluttons.
I guarantee you, Dani, Critical Drinker, Nerd Erotic, and Chris Gore get more views combined than all the Marvel Disney Plus shows.
Nerd Erotic is such a dick, though.
He's right.
He's a dick, though.
He's right. I really rallied against him. Like, I hated Critical Drinker for about a year because he was talking crap
because
about
he's Scottish.
stuff I loved. I love Marvel. No. I didn't like the fact that he was talking crap about Marvel, and I thought what he was doing was he was talking trash about something really cool to just be counterculture, because that can be. It can
there
be
is
cool
a lot
to
of
hate
that
on.
too. There's a lot of
but
that.
The thing is, I was lying to myself. He was pointing out glaring errors in Marvel, and I was like, no. Marvel's great. Marvel's the dopest. It's the dopest shit. No one's ever going to make cool stuff like this. They're the best. And then you keep watching mediocre content, and over time you begin to realize, oh, crap. They had actually spotted this way in advance. They were well ahead of the curve.
It's not so much that we weren't wanting to admit to it. It was, we were hopeful. It's something we love. We don't want it to be bad. So we just keep hoping. And then eventually, you start to actually see it. Like, your hope glasses come off and you're like, oh, so are they trolling us? Like, what's happening here? Why is this just... I think, like, next year, Superman and Fantastic Four are due to come out 1 week from each other.
Ooh. That's not going to happen.
That should breed competition, though.
That won't happen. This is exactly. I think Spencer knows what I'm going to say. This is exactly what they did with Captain America: Civil War and Batman v Superman.
Oh,
and Warner Brothers were like, oh yeah, we're taking him on, and Marvel were like, okay, well, we're not moving, and then Warner Brothers quietly moved away. That'll happen again. There's no way those two films come out a week apart. No way.
I think it would be a good thing if it did, though. If they both stuck to their guns and kept
No,
these
they'll gobble
movies.
each other alive at the box office. This is not a Barbenheimer thing. Like, they will kill each other at the box office.
Competition is good, though. Competition breeds ingenuity and drive. And that's what I'm hoping. That's what should happen, is breeding actual because DC's never really been real competition for Marvel at the box office yet. But right now, Marvel is like really lowered its standards, and DC needs Superman to do well. If Superman doesn't do well, they're done. So for once, they're kind of like on this same level almost.
Just imagine if that film is trash and bombs.
Oh, I'm so scared.
That's James Gunn fired before Universal take over Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
That has to be fire. That film has to be.
Yeah, it has to be amazing.
And to be
it
fair,
has to.
The cast, like the Diet Coke version of Henry Cavill aside, like you've got Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane,
and Nick Holt as Lex Luthor. He's a good
Sold.
actor.
Who do they get to play? Who do they get to play the editor?
Oh, Jimmy Olsen.
No. The editor.
No.
Perry White.
Yeah, the Lawrence Fishburne role.
Was it Wendell Pierce?
Yeah, he's
yes.
Yes,
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, I love the Superman cast. It's a great cast. Gunn has proved himself as a good creative and a good writer, a good director. He's created some films that I really enjoy, and we're from the same neighborhood, so yay. But I always have to throw that out there. But anyway, I have concerns about Zaslav, because Zaslav doesn't give a shit about these movies. The only thing he cares about is making enough money to buy his private island with the other, members of the worldwide cabal and drink unicorn blood mimosas and stuff. That's what he wants. He wants to.
Are you just bitter that you didn't get invited to Epstein Island too?
Wow.
How dare you?
Spencer's been invited. Spencer was on the private jet.
What is happening?
By the way, if you think there isn't another island, you're insane. There is.
Oh, and Nickelodeon owns it.
Bill Gates is there now.
With everyone who works at Nickelodeon. God, those poor people. I would love to see DC sold to another company. And trust me, this is something that Zaslav is gearing up towards. He just wants to flip it. He wants his money back. He's going to chop this Warner Brothers Discovery up for parts, sell it to make a buck. He does not care about anything else. When there were talks about him wanting to buy Paramount, I freaked out. Like, you're going to keep your nasty hands off my Star Trek. Don't go near it. You're messing up enough as it is. But if Superman does not do amazing at the box office, that's it for DC. We're done with DC Studios. It's at least this incarnation, and it will be some time before we get another DC movie, period. This is no pressure, James Gunn. No pressure. Just keep sitting on the pooper and tweeting out your insults and changing your mind every 6 months. No, you misunderstood what I said.
Dani, in fairness, like, I think you're being very, very harsh. I just think it was so great that right after the writer's strike ended, he was able to turn in his script. I mean, it's just he was able to work for that 1 week and get it all done.
Yeah.
honored the terms of the boycott, honored the terms of the yeah, we all know he was writing that shit in the background.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's so full of shit. He's so full of it. Like, just, he absolutely should not be the head of a studio. He shouldn't be the head of a studio. He shouldn't be the voice for any studio. He should just be a
He can
director.
be the head of a studio, but just like come away from social media.
Oh, absolutely.
Like his wife Jennifer Holland should have taken his phone off him. Just be like,
Yes.
here's your phone, but the app is
Yes.
blocked.
Yes. Like, are you going to the bathroom? Give me your phone. Give it here. Come on.
The same thing they need to do to Trump.
Yeah, we've had this
Like, just-
discussion.
Mr. Trump, you can use your Truth Social in your own time, but not when you're on the toilet at 3:00 in the morning. Same thing for James
After
Gunn.
you, oh yeah, just, guys, stop. You're not doing yourselves any favors. But Peacemaker and Superman is filming at the same time, and they will be filming from June to August in Ohio. So if you're in the Ohio area, if you're in Ohio, be looking for James Gunn. They'll be out there filming. I mean, this thing kind of kills me though. Like, did they give him like an amazing tax break in Ohio? Because James Gunn is from Missouri. Okay. We have lots of areas around here that look like Smallville, Kansas. And hey, there's Kansas. Why aren't we, like, why Ohio? Why not give
That's
your home
interesting.
state some tax dollars, some revenue? I don't understand. Like, I feel like sometimes he's ashamed of being from Missouri.
No, I
He
won't have
gets
anything to
real
do with
weird
it.
about it.
How much of it is being filmed in Britain?
None that I know of.
You sure?
The filming locations I've seen so far are Norway, which they're almost done with, and I won't even attempt to pronounce the name of the town they're in.
That'll be
Svalbard.
Fortress of Solitude. It'll be Norway.
Yeah. So they've been filming in Norway and they're wrapping that up. The other two locations I read were Ohio and Georgia. So
No, Atlanta.
did-
Okay.
yeah, I didn't see any England on there at all. But they're due to finish filming Superman in August, and Peacemaker is supposed to be done in September. So we will see how they do. Very concerned about him saying he doesn't know what's canon. Could be problematic.
Well, this is the guy
Oh.
who thought it was a genius idea to come out in January of last year and go, yeah, so we still got all these DCU films to come. They don't mean shit, but let me get you excited for my new franchise. Because here's the new stuff we're going. And instantly people are like, oh, Shazam 2? Don't care.
Dude.
He's also the person who told us that The Flash was one of the greatest superhero movies ever
God.
made.
And he paid Stephen King, and
He said The Flash was one of the greatest superhero movies ever made.
I know. It's horrifying. And then he so he said that, and then maybe a month or two later he went on the Inside You podcast with Michael Rosenbaum and said that Across the Spider-Verse is the greatest superhero movie of all time. And then I'm pretty sure he said Donner's Superman the movie was the greatest superhero movie of all time. He doesn't know what he's saying from one moment to the next. Again, he might be on drugs.
Oh, and he talks shit about Tim Burton's Batman.
I know. He said it was boring. What's wrong with you? Oh my God. I have so many concerns about his health and well-being. Okay. So we're going to move on to other things because we've actually been here for 2 hours, Emmett. So you've been here an hour. And I have been here for 2. Oh. So some honorable mentions that are going on in the nerd world. We've got the sequel to Super Mario Brothers movie is in development. Like we didn't see that coming. I actually liked that movie. I liked it. I've
was
watched
fun.
it several times. Yeah, it was a fun movie. Ready Player 2. Ready Player 2.
No, nobody wants this.
Ready Player One is an unbelievably overrated movie. I don't need it.
But
can agree
everyone
with
that
that.
I've heard that's
Yeah.
read Ready Player 2, I've heard it's just an awful book from like
Really?
everybody. Yeah. And so
I have not
don't
read either of
understand
them.
Oh,
why they're
really?
going after that. The first book's good. I haven't read the second, and I don't intend to after hearing what I have about the second, so I'm good.
Okay.
Right.
And the piece de resistance. This may really. I'm interested to see Emmett's reaction to this news. I don't know if you've seen it or not yet, but we're hearing that Aaron Taylor Johnson has been offered the role of James Bond. Quicksilver, Aaron Taylor Johnson. Aaron Taylor Johnson, guy who played Quicksilver.
Soon to be Craven.
Yeah, Craven the Hunter.
Oh yeah, Craven the animal rights activist.
Yeah,
Can't
you
wait
missed
for that
my
one,
whole
Sony.
conversation about that. I was talking about that by myself. Yeah, he's been offered the role of James Bond.
Yeah, I agree, Sean. Hard pass.
Like,
And he's going through
why?
a divorce. His wife is like 25 years older than him.
She's
they're
like
going through
67.
Yeah, she's like way older than he is. And he
No.
took her last name.
Oh yeah, no, it's a whole thing, mate. It's a whole
Yeah.
thing.
Never heard
So-
of this.
So I like him. Like I really
I
like
do.
Aaron Taylor Johnson. I think he's a really good actor. Actually, I'm going to take this back. When I watch Bullet Train, which has its moments and it's kind of it's a fun movie.
Mhm.
There's a couple of scenes in that where I was like, "Oh shit, you're doing your Bond audition here. You're going to be Bond, and you're going to be like a more stripped down." He's not as refined and elegant as Connery. He's a more
George Lazenby.
stripped down. No, I wouldn't say that. I was almost going to go completely different franchise. They're going to go with an almost Kingsman version of we're gonna take Bond, but he's Bond for the streets,
Oh,
and we're
yeah.
gonna make him into being this refined. But he's a real hardened, younger, more stripped back Bond.
And that's what Dave really.
I can
Dave
see
is
it. I can
Bond
see
fan.
I can see him as like the thing is, who are you going for?
Yeah.
Because the guy who was going to be Bond, I'm pretty certain was Tom Hiddleston, until he got caught in that I Heart Taylor Swift T-shirt, and that killed that instantly. Like James Bond is not wearing an I Heart Taylor Swift T-shirt and frolicking around on a beach with her. That was over the second that came out, and she screwed him on that because there's no way that his team were like, do you know what would be great? You caught in an I Heart Taylor Swift T-shirt and frolicking around on a beach with her. Like us men can all go, yo, well done. You know, that's Taylor Swift. Well done. Don't wear that
have
T-shirt.
Invoked
That
her.
was
You
him.
said her name more than 3 times. Now she's going to come and kill each of us within 7 days. Way to go, Emmett.
Oh well. Oh well. Is that how it works with Taylor Swift? Did you
Stop
say
it.
Taylor Swift's name 3 times?
I don't say
Taylor
her
Swift
name.
comes along and kills you.
I don't say her name or
I'm a fan of Taylor
Mars
Swift.
Mashian.
I like Taylor Swift. I think
Why?
her and I'm not just trying to dig myself out of a hole here, because the Swifties be mean. They don't mess about.
Hey,
Those Swifties, but
I am
I like
the
Taylor
mother
Swift. I
of
like her
4
music.
children, and
I
half of
played
them are-
her music on commercial music radio and championed her for years. So I'm comfortable with Taylor. I think we'd get on okay. But she killed that Tom Hiddleston is an action hero thing straight away. So who is the guy? Like, who else are you going to go to?
Oh God,
You
she's
can't go back to
joining the
Daniel
MCU
Craig. You've got to
too.
go for someone younger.
She's joining.
Yeah, she's going to be
she's in the
Dazzler,
MCU.
isn't she?
Well, I heard Dazzler, and then I heard she was going to be Lady Pool, But now
All
Una
right.
from Game of
No,
Thrones.
I know who that is.
Yeah.
I know who
It's-
that is.
What's her face from Game of Thrones and Harry Potter? It's
Nope.
not.
It's Blake
And
Lively.
you can't say.
It's Blake Lively.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think she's going to do it too. I thought we were going to have variants because the chick from Game of Thrones is supposed to be one of her, but they kept showing Blake Lively wearing the Deadpool jewelry and holding stuff and standing next to it. I'm like, well, she's doing a cameo. She has to,
Yeah.
and it would only make
She'll be
sense that
Lady
she
Deadpool.
would. Yeah, it only makes sense if they make Swift anyone other than Dazzler. That's just dumb. It's just absolutely dumb because she is Dazzler. She's not
By
an
the way,
actress.
there is an idea out there that because Taylor Swift is literally responsible for boosting the local economies of various different places around America and South America, because so many people flock to her tours, that if you put her in your movie, it like instantly increases box office by $1 billion.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is a genius.
Ain't nobody went to see Amsterdam. That's
What's
bullshit. That's not going to work.
Oh, that
exactly.
one.
What's
I've
Amsterdam?
seen it.
Nobody cared. And
I forgot she was
same
in
thing
that.
for putting in. Same thing for putting in Louis Tomlinson. Oh, if you put in, or what's his face, dude from
Harry
One Direction,
Styles.
the one guy with talent in One Direction. Like, oh, you put him
My
in your
daughter
movie, it's
will
instant
come and
500
attack
million.
you because she's in love with Niall Horn. She will come at you with knives.
Yeah, I like Niall Horn too, but he has not got the talent that Homie
I
does.
never thought we would end
Nobody.
up discussing the finer points of the members of One Direction, but here we are.
He was the one guy that actually has talent in that. Niall Horn, like, pretty cool dude, but the one dude who has talent is who everybody knows, whose name has just escaped me again. But like
Harry
Harry Styles, thank you for bailing me out. Nobody went to see Don't Worry, Darling, and everybody wanted to because we all knew it was going to be a car crash, but nobody went to see it.
Fair enough. But I think, so Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and the Swift are BFFs.
Mhm.
And this Era Tours thing, like she's just coming off of that, and it's been so massive. If these kids find out that she is actually in Deadpool 3, they're going to go. They're going to go. They're going to make their parents take them. So I see that actually working for Ryan Reynolds. Plus, I have faith in Ryan Reynolds, period. I'm really excited for Deadpool 3. He's not let me down yet with a Deadpool movie. So I'm pretty stoked for it. And it's about time we got him and Hugh Jackman in a movie together. And it's not
Yes.
X-Men Origins Wolverine. I'm excited for Deadpool kills the Fox universe. I think that's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Hey, can I give a theory for that? Because I'm very excited for the film as well. I can't wait for
it.
You know the way Matthew McFadden is a TVA agent?
Yes. I forgot his name.
I don't think he is.
You think he's Mephisto?
I don't think they're the TVA. I think they're a different version. I think they're a bad TVA. They're some sort of
So
villainous
not
group.
the Timekeepers, the what's their name?
I have no
I gotta look it
idea
up.
because I don't know that comic
They
book
have an
storyline.
antithesis, and for some reason it's not popping into my head. Who are the
Is there an anti version of them?
Yes.
Then that's what they are. I think.
Time
Don't know,
Twisters. The
didn't-
Time Twisters. Instead of the Timekeepers, they're the Time Twisters.
And that's probably why he's then fighting them.
Mm-hmm.
Because they recruit him, they big him up. He's Marvel Jesus, and then he's killing them.
And
I think they're
I
the real villains of it.
I love Ryan Reynolds for putting Disney and pegging in the same sentence in like the first of his trailer. The first freaking scene.
This isn't the first for me, but it is for Disney.
Hey, friendo. but it is for Disney. I love it. Love you, Ryan Reynolds. Let's be friends. I just want to be friends
Rated
with Ryan
R.
Reynolds. I just love him. Okay. I do have to pee. So that means we got to wrap it up.
Cool.
It's time to go. But I love both of you. Thank you for doing this. Spencer, thank you for coming in and rescuing me while I was sitting here.
Thank you, Spencer. Legend.
No
Hollis,
problem.
I'm so
Good
sorry.
being
I
here.
got to figure out Irish time zones so I can tell you your time instead of trying to give you East Coast time, because both of us got very confused with that, I think. Because you're like,
I
are you
looked
in
at
New York
Chicago
time?
time. I looked at
Yeah.
Chicago time and it told me, oh, that means 11 p.m. It's like, great.
Okay,
For-
I gave you New York time. Remember? I said because the entire world sees New York's time zone as America's time zone. So I'm giving you.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no. And then I changed it to Chicago time thinking I was a genius.
And I very
Oh, no.
specifically,
Sorry.
I very specifically told you I'm in Central time, so
Oh.
it's 5 p.m. for me. But in New York, it's 6 p.m.
And then I went, oh, great. 6 p.m. means 5 hours. Great. Done. What a dum-dum I am. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
But thank you, Spencer, for bailing Dani out. That's much appreciated and covering for me.
But I want to thank both my guests for being so wonderful and putting up with me. Spencer, your first time on the show, man. Welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
good
you very
being
much.
here and looking forward to more.
Absolutely. And Emmet Kennedy, of course, my internet bestie. I love you, man. You're lucky I love you because I would have been real mad.
Because I'm the worst. I'd have been
No,
freaking
but-
out.
No, you're the best. You are. I genuinely thought maybe you fell asleep or something. So it wasn't really, I wasn't like, it's Emmet. He probably fell asleep. So I wasn't that upset. And thank you so much to the chat. This is our first time actually streaming on X and YouTube and Twitch all at the same time. I'm hoping to get it to where we can be on Instagram at the same time as well. If you enjoy the content I'm putting out, please smash the like button, hit the subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you get notified whenever I'm back with more nerdy content. We'll be here on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 5 p.m. for Central Standard Time, just to make that very specific. If you would like to support the channel, I have so many different ways for you to do so. You can check in the description below, or you can just go to my website right there, which is also in the description, or scan that QR code in the bottom corner. Until then, I have been Dani. You've been awesome, and this has been your weekly nerdy news. I'll see you in the next one. And don't forget to check under your beds tonight because Kennedy's gonna get ya.